Welcome, it's Domain Dave from cheapwinefinder.com again and again with another wine. This is a cult wine of sorts, and I'll explain that in a minute. And what do we have here? I had to grab the bottle, but it's Moon X Black Pinot Noir 2020 from California. This is one of the new style Pinot Noir, not the traditional style. I'll do a little bit of history. The Wagner family makes Caymus wines, and that made a very famous Cabernet Sauvignon. They make it in a very rich style. That's their thing. You have a Caymus Cabernet Sauvignon, you know it. It is very distinctive, and they're excellent, and they've been making it for years, and they're rightfully famous. And one of the sons from the Wagner family broke off and created Meiomi, which is a Pinot Noir that I think it was Santa Barbara, Monterey, Sonoma, I think, from 3 different places. And it was a richer style of wine, kind of along the way that the Caymus is, was a richer style of Cabernet Sauvignon. And it was big and it was bold. And where traditional Pinot Noir was all about the nuances, the newer style is about lush taste and smooth and easy to drink and enjoyable and kind of hedonistic. I mean, the traditional Pinot Noirs can be hedonistic in their own way too, but in an entirely different way. I'll take a sip. And this is Trader Joe's, the Moon X Black Pinot Noir. $6.99 Pinot Noir. And they've been doing this wine for a number of years, and it's along the lines. It's not a copy necessarily of, it's more in the style of. And if you think $6.99 is way too cheap for a Pinot Noir, in New York, where Trader Joe's isn't allowed to sell wine, grocery stores can only sell beer. Certain wines, I don't know why certain wines sell in retail liquor shops. And this wine, I put a link on the review, is on sale at the moment for $11.99 from $12.99, which means that the $6.99 to the original $13.99 is half price, which kind of gives you what you're getting as a bargain as opposed to retail wines. And we have insight into what this does. Most of the time you don't know, but I just figured this New York thing out and it doesn't happen on every one, but you can get apples and apples comparison that you're getting a wine that's half the price. And what is it? Anything over $11 is considered premium wine. You think, oh, $6.99, oh, that's not premium. It's bulk wine or whatever they call it. I'm not sure. They probably have a horrible name for it because they want to sell the more expensive stuff. But this is actually a $12 to $14 wine in a retail shop. And that's not bad. You can get there's a ton of great wines in that price range. Here, take a sip. This is a really rich wine. I prefer, my favorite red wine is Pinot Noir, traditional. And this isn't it. If I'm jonesing for a red Pinot Noir, I wouldn't grab this, but if I want a really juicy, rich, lush red wine with some weight on the palate, and this one has weight on the palate. It's not something you normally get in the Pinot Noir. I always use the word ethereal for the best ones. This thing tastes really good. That's why it's a cult wine. For about 2 or 3 years, we have a couple. This is maybe the third time we've reviewed a vintage of the Moon X Black Pinot Noir. And it's been like for 3 or 4 years, like the number one reviews on the website. And I think just recently it hasn't been. But it was a popular wine everywhere, and it would sell out at Trader Joe's. It just showed up on the shelves. So it's this is Yeah, I mean, it's a solid new style Pinot Noir if that's your thing. Now, I'm going to just talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and wine pairing. And one of the reasons Pinot Noir for red wine is always referred to as the wine to pair is because turkey has got a mild flavor, and Pinot Noir is usually not a strong wine, which is why the new style probably isn't what you would want to use. And it's cherry flavor, and it would go with just about anything, and it's a really good choice because cherries and what have you for the traditional style Pinot Noirs. And it's a harvest style wine, which usually goes with what's on the dining room table during Thanksgiving feast. So the newer style doesn't really go, except if you're doing Cajun turkey, if you're doing deep fried turkey, if you have side dishes that have some oomph to them, some spice to them, if you're doing not traditional Thanksgiving meal, I'm gonna take a sip. You can actually use the newer style, and it's very tasty. It's got enough acidity. The traditional style has acidity to cleanse the palate, and this isn't going to do as good a job. It's more ripe and luscious than, the acidity is more in the body of the wine. So if you're looking to cleanse the palate, it's not going to do that so much. But at Thanksgiving dinner, maybe just tasting really good isn't bad. So there you go. You can still do Pinot Noir if you're not doing a traditional Thanksgiving turkey dinner, and have something that pairs. And at $6.99, oh, that's too cheap for Thanksgiving? No, it ain't. It's actually a $14 wine in New York. So there you go. So adios. This is Domain Dave. Like us where you like your podcasts, and keep it cheap. Stay safe. And I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.